What's going on, guys? nerdlocker.com. We got this week's comic book reviews. I'm starting off with Harley Quinn, number 0. It's actually kind of an interesting issue because it's Harley talking about what it would be like to have her own comic book, and she completely breaks the fourth wall with all these big name artists. Becky Cloonan's in there. I love Becky Cloonan, just first off. Obviously Amanda Conner, Jim Lee, Art Balthazar, just a whole group of people. Tony Daniels. It's pretty cool. I'm glad, though, at the end of the issue that they say this is the last time they'll be breaking the fourth wall. Next issue, we start with a regular Harley Quinn series, and I'm interested to see how far this goes because she is a fan favorite character, and I'm just wondering if the fans want it bad enough. But I would definitely check this out. I'm giving it 4 to 5 nerd skulls.
Hey there, guys. Cubby here with my reviews for this week. And first up, I'm going to do the one book that blew me away more than anything, Avengers number 22. Holy crap. It's like literally just Infinity is getting to this point where everyone's coming together to retake Earth. I mean, if you're following it, you know what's going on. It's really action-packed. The cool thing about Avengers is that it's showing all like the big stuff going on that's not dealing with everyone on Earth. So the next issue of Infinity is going to be the last thing. Oh my God, they just retook it. Holy crap, what's going to go on? We're set up for that. We know that. We already knew that in the last issue. But this one, there's a lot of preparation that needs to go into them actually retaking it, and this is where it all goes down, and it's so freaking cool because it doesn't go to plan, obviously. Like most cool stories, it just fails, and they're like, oh no, something happened that we weren't expecting. And the team that gets together to fix it, holy crap, it's awesome. It's just one of those like, oh, thank you. Like perfect moments. I'm really, really stoked for it. I really, really can't wait to see what happens, and I really, really, really want to see how it ends. I feel like this is going to be a 5 out of 5 Nerd Skull book once it finishes, but because this one was. This is 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
What's up, nerds? Jim here, and I got to read Wonder Woman number 25. So we had a lot of crap going on, and now things are settling in, but some people aren't very happy. Strife is still trying to stir shit up. She's with Hephaestus, creating something, we don't know exactly what, but it's not good. So we have the main group, Wonder Woman, Hera, hanging out. Hermes is watching over them. Orion comes in, sort of breaks up the crowd. And like I said, they're just kind of getting back to normal, or what the new normal is for like Hera. Orion just wants to blow crap up as he usually does. Strife enters and she's just doing her thing, causing more problems. It really setting up for something big, but this issue is very much on the low end, getting us to that big end. So it's not all that exciting, but you can see big things coming. Got a lot of cool things in it that are really short parts as they break away from the main group, teasing more, and I want to learn more about that. Obviously, we're going to get that in more issues, but for this issue, I'm going to go middle of the road and just give it 3 out of 5 Nerd Skulls, but it does look like something big's coming down the road.
Hey fellow nerds, Jasper here, and I just got done reading Cataclysm, The Ultimates Issue 1. As much as I wanted to like this book, I couldn't. First and foremost, the artwork there was so much in it, and it was convoluting pretty much every character. There was so much going on between the war between MODOK and his legions of zombies, or at least followers. And while that was all going on, you know, you had Galactus, you know, at least the Ultimates perspective of Galactus arriving on Earth. And you would expect for it being, you know, the whole Cataclysm, you know, story arc, you would focus it more on Galactus and not on MODOK. And I tried to like it. The story overall was great, which you should definitely read. It's just the artwork really totally, you know, dumbed it down a little bit, and because of that, I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, I got to read Superior Spider-Man Annual, number 1. We get to see more of Doc Ock just taking over Peter Parker's life and him focusing on kind of the douche he's been to Aunt May since he's taken over Peter Parker's life, and realizing there's a bunch of responsibilities he has to do outside of just being Spider-Man and becoming a doctor and everything he wanted to do. We get to see Blackout return and throw down with Spider-Man, and he kidnaps Aunt May, and some crazy things happen, and I'm interested to see what this does to the different characters of like Peter Parker's family, because Spider-Man is much more brutal now. and knowing that Peter Parker will be coming back, I mean, obviously. I don't really know where this is kind of going. I was on it for a while, and it kind of just died off. So I'm hoping that this big Green Goblin story they've been leading up to kind of brings everything back, but I feel like Doc Ock is making such a mess of Peter's life. It's like he's doing a lot of things smarter, but Peter's going to come back, and it's just going to be terrible. I don't know. I'm giving this 3 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Let me know what you guys thought.
All right, guys, gonna be here with my review for Conan number 22. This is another one of my favorite series. I've always loved it. I literally do all these issues. And the fact that it's ending Brian Wood's run, where he's been doing all this crazy black sails thing, it's really awesome, his adaptation of it. And this last story arc kind of changes it up hugely because, he's been running around with Bullet, and it's been kind of magical, kind of like there's a little bit of this, a little bit of mysteriousness all over the place. And he finally goes to this accursed island, this accursed ancient city that's been abandoned for thousands of years. And they find the most plunder these pirates have ever found. They go ape crazy for it. It's awesome. But there also happens to be giant bat-winged apes that live on the island that are completely sentient and completely destroy their ship and all their water supply. They don't destroy the ship, actually, to where they can't sail away. They just don't have any water. And it's one of the most messed up things ever, because this thing could have just destroyed everything. But no, it made it so that way it was impossible for them to leave without water, and them going to find it was this other whole, it is just awesome. It's just a cool bunch of twists and turns, and I'm really upset that it's like the last story arc. But it's perfect time to jump on. These trades are awesome. You guys should all be reading them. I'm giving this 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Go check it out.
So next up, I went a little towards the child side and did Ben 10, number 1. I've not watched the cartoon. I don't know anything about Ben 10 other than some action figures my son has. It was a pretty fun book. It was perfect for children. I really enjoyed how we have Ben 10 and his family/team going on vacation. That was kind of cool. Ben's having some problems dealing with sort of a normal life and his new fame, but more importantly, he's having a tough time with his family/team asking him, hey, how are you doing dealing with this fame? He's sick of it. He doesn't want to hear the questions. He either wants to have action or just chill out, or actually deal with the people that are coming up with him. I think he kind of likes that. So they're on this cruise. Some weird stuff comes out of the ocean, which obviously they work to deal with. He meets a nice girl. She turns out to not be what she appears. It's just a fun book, and unlike some of the other kid books, this actually looks like it's going to go into the story further in the issues, where a lot of the other ones are like Scooby-Doo or self-contained. So I like that. I like how they're building up some continuity. I look forward to the next one, so I'm going to go ahead and give this one 3.5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, I got to read Batman and Robin number 25. This is Batman and Two-Face. The woman who ruined Harvey Dent's life is back in Gotham, and Two-Face is pissed, obviously. Killed his wife, disfigured him. That's the new origin here in the new 52. And she's going to Bruce Wayne for help because they have a history, and you get to actually see the story of what happened when Batman tried to stop her and he ended up killing Harvey's wife. We get to see an awesome Batman character we haven't seen in quite a while. One I wasn't sure we'd see again, just for a couple pages here. But this ends with a direction I'm not really sure what Bruce Wayne Batman's game plan is with all of this, because he seems to be doing a bunch of stuff you never would have thought you'd see either of these characters do. So I don't know. I'm going to keep reading it because it hasn't been bad so far. I just feel like this is a big setup issue, and we're going to get more as we read it. So I'm giving it 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, guys, so I got to read X-Men number 7 this week as well. I really love this story, or this team. That's not a team. They even admit that they're not really a team yet in the book, which was kind of cool because I love character development, stuff like that. It's just really cool. Either way, back to the story. It's kind of starting up a whole new thing after Battle of the Atom. That's all done. That's all taken care of. All the ramifications have been felt, and we're going to just pick up brand new and see what's going on with this team. And it's we're getting some new players. Some people have been shifting around, and the introduction of the people going through rehab and things like that. It's really cool. I love the grasp on the characters. Like it's more about that than the crazy action and the crazy this, crazy that. One new villain. It's not a new villain. It's a new person that's a villain is in, which is it's X-Men, so it happens all the time. It's not really that weird for this to happen in this thing, but it's like a weird thing if it didn't happen in the X-Men. But Lady Death Strikes Back, and she's like a Day of the Dead chick, and it's like, what? She's Japanese though, and it's like, actually it's Mexican. She's Mexican now and Japanese, so it's like opposite of Betty Brant. I don't know. It's really weird, but it's X-Men, so it makes total sense, and it totally works, and it's fun, and it's a bunch of chicks fighting another group of chicks. They haven't fought yet, but they're going to, and it's awesome. There's someone comes in from the Marvel Universe. It's really cool, really sexy, and really like messed up, but that's always going to make for a great story, especially with X-Men. So I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Go read it. Get your X on.
So next up, I had Samurai Jack #2. Now, once again, I didn't watch the cartoon. I'd heard great things about it. Really enjoyed what people told me about it, so I jumped on the comic book. It was very cool. I really enjoyed it. You have Jack coming in to this village, and he meets 2 warriors who really rule this village with an iron fist, and it's not cool. The people are obviously very scared of these 2, and they're called Dis and Dat, which of course I thought was hilarious. So he's still on his search for the threads. He has the one. He goes up against these 2, they kick his butt, and he gets kicked off a cliff into the ocean, and he's like, oh man, that was difficult. Has his epiphany, figures out how to deal with these 2. It's really nice self-contained story how he has this battle, but it's obviously something of a bigger journey that he's going on, which we all know is going on. So I really look forward to more. This itself was very enjoyable. I'm going to go ahead and give it 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, guys, I got to read Animal Man #25. We get to see Animal Man show up at, I guess, the DC Universe's version of the Oscars, because he's up for Best Actor, which was like a crazy twist. But he's fighting all of Brother Blood's minions, basically, now that Brother Blood is in charge of the Red. Maxine is stuck in the Red, and it just seems like there are a lot of complications going on for Animal Man right now. You know, he's still getting over the loss of his son. He's trying to get stuff back on track with his wife, and now with all this, you're thinking the story's gonna go in one direction, and when it ends, he goes to a place we've never seen him before, and I'm really interested to see what this does to just the story, because we've really focused on, you know, the Red and the power of the Red and the green and the rot and all of that, and where he is now. I'm wondering if this plays into any of that. So I'm really stoked on this, and Raphael Albuquerque's artwork is absolutely outstanding. I'm so happy he's on this book. Jeff Lemire is still killing it. I'm giving this book 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, guys, so I got to read Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi, or whatever. #1. It's a brand new, like, full little story or whatever. I wasn't really thrilled with this whole thing in the beginning. Like, it's cool. It's a cool, interesting take on it, and I was really excited about it. But it just kind of, it didn't really, like, grasp me. It didn't really pull me in. All the things I thought they were going to do weren't that interesting and weren't that cool. Like, oh, where are the Jedi at? Oh, well, they're not really anywhere. Oh, well, whatever. But this story starts off nuts, just going. Everything's going crazy. It says #1, and I was like, oh, sweet, I'm not gonna have to know anything. But you kind of have to know what's been going on, how they've been building the story up. But you kind of realize that, like, we come to the conclusion that the Force is around, but it's just the dark side. Like, literally, that's all that's been taken over. And these people are finally coming and, like, taming it and bringing it into the light side, and everyone's all, like, into each other, and they're all, like, liking each other, and their love is bringing and bonding everyone together, which makes no sense because the Jedi aren't supposed to have lovers. So I don't know, but that seems like that's how it's going. So I'm really confused, kind of. The artwork was not the best, but it wasn't terrible. I can kind of see what was going on. I just wish those Rancor dragons were, like, sick. But either way, it was an interesting read, and I'm excited to see where it goes, but I wasn't blown away like I was with a lot of other stuff this week. So I'm only going to give it 3 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. It's still awesome if you like Star Wars, so check it out.